Have you ever grieved someone who is still living? That's what a living loss is. A lot of times we grieve people who we can still contact. When you think people are there forever, time goes on and you realize that it was only temporary and they were there for that season. What is up? Welcome to episode of Couch Conversations with Blake. I'm Blake, and tonight we are going to talk about something very touchy, to say the least. So it is currently 2 a.m., but this is heavy on my heart, and I just had to get it off my chest. Today's topic is living loss. So have you ever grieved someone who is still living? That's what a living loss is. I didn't know the words for it, but I asked ChatGPT like, what is this called? And they said it's called like a living loss or an ambiguous loss. So I went with living loss, that's more simple. But yeah, I feel like when we think of grief, we usually think of people who have passed, people who we can no longer contact, but I think we never think of it in the manner of someone who is still living. A lot of times we grieve people who we can still contact, whether it be family, friends, a significant other, When we think like of a living loss, like a separate relationship, a lot of times people think you have had to fall out with the person or it had to be like a big scene. No, that's not always the case. Sometimes y'all just have two different paths in life, and somebody that you thought that you was rocking with strong from childhood and they're gonna be your forever friend, they end up not being, or different circumstances. People come into their lives, people come into your life, and it's not always, a bad thing, but people that you once talked to every single day, that you were attached to at the hip every single day, end up not being so close to you. Y'all might end up going a year without talking to each other, or y'all might never talk to each other again. I just think life is funny. I do believe everybody has a season in your life. And a lot of times when you think people are there forever, time goes on and you realize that it was only temporary and they were there for that season. I do think people come into your life to teach you lessons, but everything isn't meant to be like a lesson. Some people are literally meant to be a blessing. And when that season is over, when their time has expired with you, it's not always a bad thing. Sometimes you take what you've learned from that situation and it makes you a better person in situations to come. But the thing is, with grieving relationships, sometimes you still might, be in contact with the person, but the relationship is just not the same. It will never be the same due to extenuating circumstances that you can't revert. You can't go back and change. So I think that's sad, because sometimes you wish you had that version of that person for a longer time, or you wish things were how they used to be, and you know that they will never be that way again. So if you say that you've never experienced a living loss, I think that's a lie, because we all know that as we get older, most adults only have a handful of good friends, right? You can probably count your good friends on one hand. If you got two hands, you're a good one. You're a good one. Like acquaintances, yes, but good friends, you can probably only count those on one hand as adults. But as we matriculate through school, you meet so many people, you form so many connections, make so many relationships. And if you think back on it, some of those relationships, some of those people that you talk to at school every day or at work every day, your road dogs, people that you thought were gonna be in your life forever, you don't talk to them anymore. And granted, you might not be sad about it right now, but if you think hard enough, if you think hard enough, you might feel some type of way like, dang, I need to hit my dog up. And as adults, every relationship that has been to the wayside is not a living loss. I will say that. But I will say the living losses are the ones that you want to try to make work. You put in the effort to make work. You try to talk things out. Or even, you might not try to talk things out. Sometimes people just cut people off. I don't like that. I'm a communicator. I like to talk. What happened? What's wrong? Because it might not be what you thought it was. Yeah, but some relationships are just meant to expire. And this isn't a living loss, but I do love those relationships where you haven't talked to somebody in a long time and then y'all pick back up where y'all left off. That's the type of person I am, because I got a life, baby. I can't talk to you every day. I might not even be able to talk to you every month. But if we rocking, you know we rocking. I'm gonna hit you up quarterly and we'll just pick back up. We'll be good. But for those group of friends, those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strong friends that I do have in my life, if something were to happen where the relationship was severed a little bit, and I couldn't really fix it, I would experience grief. I have experienced grief for relationships with close friends that I have, or that I've had. I don't know. And I am still friends with some people, but the relationship will just never be what it was. As much as you want it to be what it was, you know deep down inside that it just won't. So you have to move on. And in this generation, people are like, I'll replace you. You're replaceable. What? I don't think anybody is replaceable. I think you can definitely form connections with new people, but that connection that you have with that person cannot be replaced by another person. It just can't. I feel like every individual is unique, every person is special, and everybody holds a special place in your heart. Well, speaking from experience, let me speak personally. Personally, everybody holds a special place in my heart. The people that I let get close to me, my close friends. And I cannot replace one relationship that I had with one person with another. It's just not in me. I can cultivate new relationships and enjoy those, but I will always love, the close friends that I did form relationships with that are no longer. Y'all ever cried over a friendship? I feel like friendship heartbreaks are real. I have cried. Maybe I'm just emotional. I've cried over friendships because I really love my friends, and I don't use love lightly. I don't say I love you if I don't mean it. Every single time I talk to my friends and we get off the phone, I love you, girl. Have a good day. It's not to be taken lightly, because I don't just tell everybody I love them. Sorry if I talk to you on the phone and I don't tell you I love you. You still my friend. But I don't just tell everybody that I love them. Personally, I've never really fallen out with a friend, a dramatic fallout. I have had people randomly stop talking to me. For what reason? I don't know, because I'm not a confrontational person, so I don't do that. So a lot of times people are struggling with things within themselves, and I have to realize I need not take anything personal, because I have no control over what they're going through. I can be there as much as I can as a friend, but if they decide to, cut me off, cool. I can't take it personal, because I know I did my best to be a friend. you know, or I know I did my best to be a good family member. I've never had a family member cut me off, so I can't really speak from that perspective, but I will speak from like a friend perspective. And besides being like cut off, I've never done a cut off because I don't like ending stuff like that, like just cutting people off. Like, I will talk to you and talk it out and let you know, hey, I didn't like this and I don't think this is gonna work. I will just let you know instead of just cutting you off. I think cutoffs are so cold, especially if you have history with that person. And if you say that you love that person, why are you just leaving them hanging? Like, one day y'all rocking and then things might get a little rocky and now they just hanging off the cliff. You get it? Like rocking cliff. Anyway, do you want to know what I think hurts the most? I think it hurts when the person betrays you. It's always the people closest to you that hurt you the most. And I don't know if it's because you have expectations of people who are close to you or what. Because a stranger, you don't really have expectations of strangers, so you're not really hurt by strangers. But the people closest to you will do you in. Not only do they know things about you, they may use them against you, or they may just, like I said, cut you off. And I think that hurts because after you've confided in this person, after you've done stuff for them, they've done stuff for you, y'all have experienced different things together, experienced emotions, had good times together, bad times together, have just been there for each other. And for all that to end, for the history to be gone, that really can take a toll on somebody. That hurts. I just feel like nobody should ever have to lose anybody. But sometimes you do need to let that weight go. I feel like I keep contradicting myself because I'm like, this shouldn't happen, but, I don't know, it's, like I said, it's a touchy topic. It's a touchy topic. Living loss is real. It's really real. And sometimes the situation isn't bad. Y'all just, like I said, go y'all separate ways. Y'all might move to different states, pursue different careers, and the relationship that you guys had is just, it'll never be the same. So, these candles, as you guys can see, I have these candles lit, and it's not just for decorations. I feel like these candles symbolize a visual, like a candlelit visual. I think that's what it's called. But it's basically saying rest in peace to the relationships, because those relationships just not gonna be the same, and you gotta come to terms with it. Yeah, those candles, they're cute, but they represent, that's what they represent to me. You're grieving somebody that's still alive, reach out to them. The relationship may not be the same, but it does not hurt to let somebody know that you're thinking about them. You never know, they might be thinking about you too. And you never know, you might be able to pick up where you left off, or just to have that closure. I do feel like closure is important. To have that closure will give you a good peace of mind. So if you feel like you're experiencing living loss and you're grieving somebody that's still alive, don't be bitter. Do not be bitter. Forgive. Have a forgiving heart. Because you just never know when somebody's time really is up. You never know when their expiration date is coming. I don't mean to be too gory, but that living loss might be a forever loss. So don't live your life with regrets. Don't live your life being bitter. And if you are the one cutting people off, if you are the one making people grieve you while you're still living, you need to fix it. You need to fix the situation, fix your attitude, whatever it is. No, but I understand each situation is different. And sometimes people's ways, you just can't get jiggy with it. You can't get jiggy with people's ways, and sometimes the best thing is to part ways. So whatever floats your boat, whichever way you choose to swim, do it. Do it. I can't be the judge of that, but I will say always try to end a relationship with closure. Never just leave it open, because that leaves a lot of questions. And a lot of times when people leave relationships open, like they just stop talking to somebody, it's for the wrong reason. It's for a reason that could have been resolved. For example, if somebody stopped talking to me, I'm thinking they stopped talking to me because I did something, right? Whole time they stopped talking to me because they was going through too much and they just didn't have the capacity to have me in their life. I wasn't one of the chosen ones, you know? And it's just good to know for the person on the other end that, you know, it wasn't me or it wasn't you. I was just going through something at that time in my life and I just needed time to myself. It could be that. Or let's say if I did do something, let me know what I did, because now I can be aware. I'm not gonna say fix it, because sometimes people don't like you, people don't like your actions or your character, and that's not always fixable. You can't change your character for each person, or else you won't be unique, right? You have to just be yourself, and whoever you attract is the person for you. Continue to be yourself, and the people that are like you, well, they'll come to you. They'll naturally come to you. It'll be a natural thing. You wouldn't have to second guess it. Oh, another thing, people evolve. It's okay to evolve. It's okay to explore new groups of people, but always stay true to who is down with you from the beginning. Like, don't switch up on people that had your back when you was rocking, how you was rocking when you was down bad, just because you met people when you don't do that. That's not right. I will say, when you grieve a living loss, it's because you cared. You can't grieve anything that you didn't care about, right? It's because you loved. And love hurts. Love can be a scary thing. But if it does happen to you and you do end up grieving someone who is still living, don't be closed up. Don't have your guard up at all times. Still be open to receive love, to receive people into your life, because you never know the trajectory a relationship can take. You just never know what's in store. Life happens. Situations happen. Things that you never would have expected, they happen. But it's okay. Because at the end of the day, it's your journey, it's your story, and it's your life. So, yeah, I just had to get that off my chest at 2 a.m. over here just thinking all up in my head. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Couch Conversations with Blake. I hope you enjoyed tonight's conversation. If you've ever experienced a living loss, feel free to comment I below. Just say I. So you know that we're not alone in this. Yeah. With love.